stopping people from using fair use is often not the people that you interact with, but your own question even about raising this with people that you interact with. So we realize that risk is very large in people's minds. And before we go into the next part, we would just like to point out that risk needs to be considered in its entirety, because there is a risk to be assumed always when you use your rights. That's true of any kind of right that you have, that it could always be challenged in principle. So you'd always assume some risk. But the other risk is the risk to your mission, to being able to get your work done. And you want to be able to consider both. How are you going to manage that risk assessment then? If you have to balance that risk, you have to start by understanding what your rights are. Once you know what your rights are, you're going to be able to make decisions about other issues. For instance, well, you could use your rights, but do you want to use them in this case? That would start with knowing what your rights are. That is where best practices codes come in, because they allow you to understand how people who are your peers in your field think about using your rights in the situation that you are in.